So why do we want this 4Cs grant, and what is this project going to look like? Well, let me step back a little bit to last summer. I was fortunate to be a Keenan Fellow, and I worked at a company called Plygem, which does building products, creates building products. One of the cool products is they use 100% recycled stuff to make slate shingles, but that's another story. Anyway, in this, at this company, I was working with a person who was head of innovation, and she was charged with finding new ways to get different types of products to work in their building industry. She would do things like go to the Consumer Electronics Show, even though that had nothing to do with her industry, to see what was happening there and how she might be able to take some of that knowledge or some of that new product stuff and bring it into her industry. Anyway, I loved working with her, and as I was thinking of the Keenan product that I need to make, I came up with the Three Little Pigs and tied it to social studies because that was the best link. And this way, social studies sometimes, I have to admit it, in third grade, gets the shaft. So we did this whole Three Little Pigs thing. In the beginning, we did a little bit of how to work together, and then we jumped into the three pigs, and each team had to build a house for the three pigs moving to the mountains of North Carolina, Hamlet, North Carolina. And they had used recyclable materials, they worked together, they had to come up with a plan and build their houses. In the meantime, I was also collaborating with a friend of mine at Underwood Elementary, and they were doing the same kind of thing. One of the requirements for the house was to keep it warm. And so we actually put thermometers in our houses and stuck them in the refrigerator to see which house kept them warm. We then moved on to a great language arts integration, creating a little play about the Three Little Pigs as they moved into the mountains. And so here we are now. What are we doing next? Well, we're bringing in more math and science into it with the different types of building materials as they move to the beach, and we're also looking at area and perimeter. You might think, well, you've already got this project underway. How can a grant help you do more? A grant can help us in a lot of ways. The first way is that it gives us a couple of ways to collaborate, Ms. Tuttle and I, so we can pull together more structured cooperative learning environments. We are planning to have literacy-based the 4Cs in action through all those great books by Peter Reynolds and all those guys who are just so motivating for an adult or a child to work together. They're going to practice working together because it takes time for kids to learn how to talk with each other and how to praise and how to change ideas and not have hurt feelings and tears. We also want to add a way to record our learning, and the iPads would be really great because each group could have their own iPad, they can put their own video blogs on, and they can keep track of everything they're doing. It's hard for third graders to remember what they did yesterday, let alone what they did last week when they were doing this project. The video blog would also be important for as we collaborate with Underwood. We could share our videos so they can see more of what we're doing. And we can see more of what they're doing. That was one of the big deltas in the first phase of the project, is that our houses were totally different from Underwood's houses. I mean, that's a good thing too, because everyone takes something differently. But anyway, that was kind of one of the deltas. The other thing is bringing the kids to Wake County Public School sites, the new schools. They understand the 4Cs, and they know what their environment should look like. And I think giving them an opportunity to have a real application for building, for space, for area and perimeter, to be able to use that in a real world setting in a school, which is most of their daily life in a school setting, that's going to be very helpful. So yes, we put together this little project along the way, but we would really love to see it a little more defined, and we also would really love to see it maybe rolled out among other schools, and I'll continue our collaboration with Underwood, but certainly with some more resources and some more books and some more technology for each group, that would really help us with this project. I want to talk today a little bit about our Three Little Pigs project and how that included the 4Cs. What are those things called the 4Cs? What are they? They are
creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication.
And do you think we used those 4Cs when we were doing our Three Little Pigs Move into Hamlet?
Yeah.
Think about creativity. Who can share one way that it was a very creative project to do? Pravanya?
Like, we took out all the important stuff. Like, the pigs had to be warm because it's really cold in the mountains, and we made the house to support all the important stuff.
So we had to figure out what was important and be creative about how we put our houses together, because we needed to make sure that the pigs could stay warm in the mountains, right? Does everyone agree that was a creative way for using the project?
Yes.
What about collaboration? How did we collaborate? How do we collaborate? Vishwa?
We didn't argue or anything. Like, if someone wanted to put a bush and then someone wanted to put a tree there, they're like communicating. Like, so I can put the tree here and you can put the bush there, like that.
So you try to come to a solution where everybody could feel like they had a win-win, right? That they had some way of being happy at the outcome. What about critical thinking? How do we use critical thinking? What's critical thinking? That means how did we think different, or what did we make have happen for critical thinking? Sam?
We had to use critical thinking because we had to think about what would the mountains be like and what materials would we be able to reach in the mountains. That was a good part of it. We had to really think, like, would making a roof, would making a thicker roof or a thicker bottom be better? So
Yeah, you had to come up with those ideas and kind of test them out. And as you guys were building, some of your stuff didn't work out the way you planned and you had to start over again or kind of start fresh, right? Naya, you had something you wanted to talk about with the 4 C's in this project. About ideas.
Communication, it helps talk so everyone gets an idea. And if someone has a bad idea, we could add on to it like another part that makes it better, or another part for something else, and it helps think about something that you didn't think about last time.
Ariane, you were talking about architecture career. How did this project help you think about architecture as a career?
So, architecture is simply ideas put together to make something new. And you gotta put ideas into one.
Many ideas into one.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of people. So it's better. There are more people. There'll be a better outcome. And if there's only one person, only his idea will be there, which won't be that great.
We have iPads, then we can take pictures of it before, like when we're like trying to build it, and then when it's finished, we can see how we improved to try to get, and how we try to get better. Or we can take like a picture in the beginning, and then like each day we go to the iLab, we can take a picture and see how we improve.
Yeah, did your house really start out at the beginning the way it ended up? No, there were lots of changes along the way. And thinking about that and documenting those changes is a really important part of engineering and collaborating, because sometimes you get better ideas and you go down a different path than when you started. And that's important to think about. How did we get to this end result when we started at a different point? Well, guys, I think we really showed, hopefully, that we understand the 4 C's and we would really benefit from the 4 C's grant. Right?
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.